Coming up on today's Locked On Angels, great news. Shohei Ohtani is apparently extremely happy in Anaheim, but they're keeping it a little hush-hush on potential extension talks. We're going to break that down. Plus, we got some listener calls to get to and an update from the Arizona Fall League. That's all coming up right now on Locked On Angels.
You are Locked On Angels, your daily Los Angeles Angels podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Locked On Angels, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Steve Granado. Thank you so much for making Locked On Angels your first listen of the day every single day. We drop content 5 days a week covering the Angels and Major League Baseball right here on our YouTube channel. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, on our audio side, thank you so much for listening to us every single day, making us your commute listen and, of course, your first listen. Again, I'm Steve Granado. Before we get into today's news, Shoot me a look over on our Redbubble account. Of course, I got the 2-7 merch. The Shohei Ohtani logo is available. The MLB logo in the style of Shohei is available for purchase. Put it on a t-shirt, put it on a jacket, put it on a sweater, put it on whatever you want. It's available right now. Go check it out. It's in the episode description. All right, some news coming out of the GM winter meetings taking place right now. This is coming from Jack Harris of the LA Times. I'm going to go ahead and read his tweet here from Wednesday morning. Said, quote, Shohei Ohtani's agent, Nez Bolello, declined to comment on whether the team had Ohtani have had any talks about an extension, citing his agency's policy. He did say Ohtani is, quote, extremely happy in Anaheim and praised the way the team worked with Ohtani to keep him fresh this year. So again, that's coming from Jack Harris of the LA Times. That is good news. Remember, at the end of the season, there was some comments made that kind of stirred some things. That was actually one of our first episodes that we ever did with you folks, about how Shohei may not be super stoked about playing in Anaheim, but it looks like that has kind of subsided a little bit here. Extremely happy is, I don't think I need to say it, but a very good thing. That's very good that he is, quote, extremely happy. There's more coming from this story here from the OC Register. This is coming from Jeff Fletcher. This is a little bit more on the conversation that they had with the agent. Bolello feels Perry Manassian is committed to building a winning team. Bolello, quote, I was with Perry yesterday, and I know one of the things that he's really set out to do is put together a competitive team. He is all about it, and I think that's wonderful. They're really close to being a really dynamic team, end quote. Again, that's coming from Jeff Fletcher of the OC Register. All great news. Obviously, I've talked about this a couple of times on a few different episodes, but in case you haven't heard this conversation or these topics, it's no mistake that Shohei Ohtani is going to be a massive part of this team moving forward, especially if the team wants to compete. We brought it up before. We brought it up this week even about building around Shohei and how important that is for building a competitive team. There is no need, there is no benefit to losing Shohei Ohtani whatsoever right now. He has proven in 2021 that he is going to be good moving forward. Is he going to be MVP caliber every year? No one ever knows if that's going to be the case. But moving forward, Shohei is going to be a extremely integral part of this team. And remember, it wasn't too long ago that a few years ago, 2 years ago, even in the shortened sprint, didn't know if that was going to be the case. But now that he's been allowed to become himself and to be, exactly what he wants to be and comfortable in who he wants to be, baseball's all about comfortability, then, now we know what the Angels actually have as an asset, as a player, and what building around him could mean. And we saw it there, especially at the beginning of 2021, how solid the top of the lineup can be when everyone is surrounding Shohei, right? When you got your Rendons and your Trouts and your Walshes protecting him in the lineup. We saw what happened when the Angels got hurt and he had no protection at the end of the line, in the middle of the lineup at the end of the season. We saw how much tougher it is for him. So building around him is just only going to make Shohei better, which is just insane to think about it in that scope, right? If he has protection in the lineup, he gets better. So we don't even really know, actually, what a true 100% protected Shohei Ohtani looks like. When you think of it in those terms, I mean, your mind explodes in what you can even get out of him, even more so than you already got out of him in 2021. So the fact that he is, quote, extremely happy and potentially maybe leading down the line to signing an extension, whether that be in 2021 or 2022. Again, I don't think I need to be the one to say this. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. I don't want to downplay this because, he could easily garner a massive contract anywhere else, right? Once a player hits free agency, there's nothing stopping them. They can do whatever they want. I'm not going to fault guys for wanting to find big contracts. Careers are short, and they can do what they please with their careers. So for Shohei potentially wanting to stay in Anaheim long term, and the more recent comments solidifying that fact, that's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. So building around him is going to be integral to the Angels' success. If they are serious about competing, then they just need to do that. That's just 100%. Again, I'm not saying anything that you don't already know. We actually already explored the topic of a Shohei Ohtani extension. I will leave that episode linked here on our YouTube side. Of course, head on over to our YouTube account if you're listening to the audio side. We had a whole episode dedicated to what would a Shohei Ohtani extension look like. We tried to break it down in the best way possible, had a little fun with it, and see this very interesting situation, right? It's not like we've ever seen anything like this before as far as a player is concerned. So we broke it down and tried to kind of Frankenstein together what a extension would look like. So if you're curious to that, it's a whole long conversation and a pretty interesting conversation. Go check that out. But again, this is really good news. If the Angels make some off-season moves here, we've been laying it out in our Making the Case series already, which will come back on Friday, by the way. If the Angels make some moves, that could go not only one, this is like a twofold. Not only one, does it make this team competitive and more fun to watch, which that's why we're here, is to watch baseball. But two, it could really go a long way in making Shohei even happier, showing that they are serious, and showing, hey, this is a place you can build your career around and stay here. You don't have to go to New York. You don't have to go to Los Angeles. You can stay right here in Anaheim, be happy for your career, and lock them up long term. And that's ultimately what we want, right? That's ultimately what fans want. That's ultimately going to be the best move, not only for the Angels, but for baseball. A lot gets lost recently with players moving like crazy. You lock up think how important it is for Yadier Molina to finish his career in St. Louis, right? How important that is, or how much of a bummer it is when Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant can't stay in Chicago, right? Those are just like heartbreaking type things. So for Shohei to make a career in Anaheim, just like Trout is, that just goes a long way, not only for the team itself, but for baseball itself, and how important that is for a global scale and growing the game, and how important it is just for fans to really latch on and always go, that's my guy. When we think about long-term Angels, I'm thinking Tim Salmon, right? I'm thinking Garrett Anderson. Those are Angels, right? Those are Angels. So it's nice to know that Shohei's happy. That's a great move forward, and he likes that how the Angels handled him this year, and hopefully that's how the Angels handle him in the future, and ultimately turns into winning teams and potentially playoff winning teams moving forward. All right, we got some listener voicemails here in just a second, but before we get to that, this episode is brought to you by BetOnline. We're back and better than ever, a new web interface for the start of basketball season and more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the basketball and football action this season. Head on over to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, baseball when it's around, NHL, boxing, and UFC, to your Vegas casino games, don't wait, to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for 2021. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, back here on Locked On Angels, we have some voicemails that we just haven't been able to really get to, so let's go ahead and jump right into them. Let's take a listen to this one right here.
Hey, Steve, this is Jose in Seattle calling. About today's episode, great take, I think, on the Marcus Stroman. I think the part that really stood out, which makes a lot of sense, is if they do sign him, that could signal other free agents like, hey, you know what, this is a destination. These guys are serious now. So Marcus could be the first piece in that domino that will lead to a World Series championship. Really like the segment. Excited to hear more. Thanks, man.
Hey, Jose, thanks for checking in again, dude. I always appreciate hearing your voice and checking in on Twitter and all that good stuff. Jose's been a fun friend of the show here recently. Thanks for your call. Yeah, talking about our Marcus Stroman episode earlier on in this week, I will also leave a link to that in the episode description here if you're on our YouTube side. That's in the hot stove category here, our playlist, if you're looking for that kind of thing. We talked about it a lot, spent the entire episode, and we will again be bringing back the Making the Case series tomorrow on Friday's show. We're going to be covering Max Scherzer and seeing if that's going to be a good fit for Anaheim. We're going to talk mostly pitching here in the early parts of that series. So stay tuned for that one. That's going to be on Friday's show. But yeah, Marcus Stroman, yeah, we actually just talked about it right there, right? Making moves to potentially get some guys over to Anaheim. And of course, talking about what it means for Shohei to get those moves to make him happy. But Marcus Stroman, I talked about it a lot, but I think it would just be a great move to get other free agents, making Anaheim, like you said, Jose, a destination, right? Make Anaheim a destination for players, free agents, and prospects and guys like that, and potential free agent signings is absolutely huge. So we will see if that comes to fruition. Marcus Stroman has expressed interest in signing with the Angels, and that I can't imagine won't be a point of contention moving forward. There have also been other guys that have been tied to it. We're not going to get into those here in this episode, but there have been some rumors throughout the week. I mean, it's rumor season at this point, so stick it right here on Locked On Angels to potentially hear those rumors and if any of those rumors become true. All right, Jose, thanks for calling us, dude. I appreciate you, and I love hearing your voice every time you call. All right, let's get a listen here on this next voicemail. It's a little bit older, so let's go ahead and take a listen.
Hi, this is Linda calling from Riverside. I just had an idea for a future podcast if you're interested. I know you like history. I thought it would be interesting to compare some of today's players to players of the past. How would you compare Mike Trout to a player from a long time ago? Or it doesn't even have to be from the Angels. Just how are some different ways that you would compare today's players to players from the past, whether it's their record or even their personalities or things that they do for the community? So anyway, I just thought that would be an interesting idea, and you're doing a great job. I really love your voice. Bye.
Hey, Linda, thanks for calling in. Sorry it took so long to get to your call. Had to find a good time to do it, and we had a little bit of time here on this Thursday, so I figured let's go ahead and do it now. I like that idea. I'm always going to be taking your listener suggestions, by the way. If there's any episodes that you want or any ideas that you have, hey, man, 5 days a week, there's not always news on the Angels. So I appreciate you guys chiming in with potential episode ideas, and I would love to maybe explore this concept a little bit further. The first things that come to mind here, Linda, on player comparisons. Mike Trout obviously has drawn many comparisons to Mickey Mantle, just in his physicality, his build, and his style of play, and of course the numbers, right? So Trout has always drawn those comparisons. Recently on an episode of Locked On Angels, we compared Raisel Iglesias to guys in more recent past like Jose Valverde, who of Detroit Tiger fame, and of course Troy Percival. So there are some guys that have already drawn some comparisons in that regard. And of course the most annoying one that we have heard time and time again is the Shohei versus Babe Ruth comparison, right? For my money, I think that comparison is dead. Shohei is not Babe Ruth. Shohei is his own thing. Babe Ruth never did anything like Shohei Ohtani has done. Just straight up. Incredible player. Duh. Babe Ruth. But he's never done anything like Shohei has done. Because if you look back, once Ruth started really hitting the ball well, he left pitching. Right. So he never did them simultaneously to the degree that Shohei did in 2021, which is why it's so well thought of. Obviously, Shohei, an MVP finalist officially now, and will more than likely win it. For my money, I say Shohei will win. We'll find out later here in the month of November whether he does or not. But, I mean, come on. If Shohei isn't the MVP, then what are we doing? What are we even doing at this point? But yeah, Linda, I like that idea. Hopefully we can explore that a little bit later here as we move into the offseason a little bit deeper. We're still kind of in the rumors and GM meetings and potentially coming up on CBA problems here very soon. Remember, December 1st, the CBA runs out, the collective bargaining agreement between Major League Baseball and the Players Union. So we will see where all of that takes place. But thanks again for your call, Linda. And nice to hear a different type of voice. We don't have, I think you're, wow, can I speak English? I think you're the first female caller. So thanks, Linda. I appreciate your call, and call back anytime. Again, sorry it took so long to get to your call. If you want to give us a phone call, 714-409-6396. It's on the screen now here on our YouTube side. It is in the episode description. If you are listening on your phone, which you are likely doing, pull your phone out right now, copy that number, and save it in your phone so that way you can call us anytime you have a question or a comment or a thought. We will always listen to your voicemails right here on Locked On Angels, 714-409-6396, 24/7, 365. Give us a call whenever you like. All right, final segment here on Locked On Angels. Not a ton of news here on this Thursday, but I did want to wrap this up with a little bit of prospect talk. Of course, if you missed any of our prospect talk last week, the minor league week was a huge success and had plenty of information. So let's go ahead and dive in. The Arizona Fall League is still going on. For those who don't know what the Arizona Fall League is, it's essentially a continuation of minor league baseball, where some of the best and brightest stars go from minor league baseball, maybe guys that got hurt, or need a little bit more seasoning and want to play in competitive atmospheres. They move on to play in this very shortened, 6-week league. Angels had 7 representatives go play in the Arizona Fall League with the Glendale Desert Dogs, and one of those, Coleman Crow, was named an Arizona Fall League Fall Star, which, all-star, fall, do you get it? But yeah, so Coleman Crow was named to the All-Star team on Wednesday morning, the AFL West All-Stars. He's the only Angels prospect to be named a Fall Star. Again, there are 7 different in the Desert Dogs this year. Trout has played in the Fall League. Bellinger, Verdugo, Gary Sanchez, guys like that have all played in the Arizona Fall League. So this is a big honor for Coleman Crow. Congratulations, Coleman. I've seen that he has semi-engaged here on the Locked On Angels Twitter account, at Locked On Angels, if you're curious, by the way. But it's super cool for him. Very happy for him. The game will be on Saturday night at 5 p.m. local time. That's 4 p.m. Pacific here in California. And there was a small little write-up on Coleman Crow very recently here during this week, earlier in the week, from Jonathan Mayo, who follows a lot of prospect stuff. This is what he had to write on the pitching side. How about Coleman Crow with the Angels? He's tossed 8 innings for Glendale, given up just 1 run on 6 hits, walking 2 and striking out 12. His 6.0 strikeout to walk ratio is among the best in the league. He's only 20 as a high school draftee in 18, signed 28th round in 2019. He hadn't pitched above low A prior to his AFL experience. Of course, we knew about him in Inland Empire this year, but it has a 2- and 4-seam fastball, a solid slider, and even a changeup that works to make him kind of intriguing. Yeah, kind of intriguing, an all-star. So congratulations, Coleman Crow. Super happy for you, and it's good to see that the Angels are representing strong right now in the Arizona Fall League. Of course, we've seen Jeremiah Jackson play pretty well right now. He homered the other day in the AFL. So all good things coming out of the AFL play. Very excited about the state of the Angels farm system moving forward. You can obviously chime in whenever you want on our Twitter account at Locked On Angels. Of course, my Twitter account as well is at Steve Granado, Granado. Don't forget to give us a call. Voicemail line 714-409-6396. We are fielding your questions for Monday's mailbag. We always do Monday mailbags. Of course, these voicemails were a little bit different. So if you have any questions or any conversation topics, please give us a call. 24/7, 365. That phone number, 714-409-6396. Don't forget about my merch, 27. The new Shohei Ohtani MLB logo is available right now for all you Shohei fans. Put it on a t-shirt, put it on a magnet, put it wherever you like. It is available right now, redbubble.com. It is linked in the show notes. I got other podcasts. If you want some off-season content and you want to learn something about some history, I have a podcast called Our Game, examining the Latin contributions to American baseball. We asked the question, who is the Latino Jackie Robinson, and found out that the answer was way more complicated. 8-part docuseries, tons of great information. Learn something new about baseball and the Angels. It's all available on audio podcast platforms everywhere. And of course, my other podcast that has nothing to do with baseball is Movies I Should Have Watched. My best friend Alex and I are watching all the old movies we're supposed to watch a really long time ago, and we're finally doing it. Rating them, reviewing them, and of course, having a bunch of fun along the way. That's also free and available everywhere. Thanks for making Locked On Angels your first listen of the day. For your second lesson, check out Locked On Bets, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q, with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. It's available for free everywhere. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us in today's Locked On Angels. We'll check back in again tomorrow, making the case for Max Scherzer. Hopefully you guys will be around for that one. Tons of great information here on our YouTube side and, of course, on our audio side. You guys are doing great. Thanks so much for checking in. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Later.